Shalom and good day all. Welcome to the Super Sons Fortress of Attitude. And in this week's Super Sons Fortress of Attitude, I'll be covering Batman and Robin issue 12 by Joshua Williamson. So first things first, do these covers in any way, shape or form connect to something that is happening inside with the story? Well, let's have a look at the rating for each of the covers. So starting with the lower covers here. So cover 1 on the left hand side, cover 2 on the right. The first one I give a 6 out of 10, as I also think the cover could be a little bit better. You can definitely see that it looks like the Mayo sort of worked on this cover, and I think the cover could be way better. Yes, we do get to see Damian punching a villain, and that villain being Bane himself. Next is the second cover on the right hand side, to which I also give a 6 out of 10. I don't think it's actually the greatest of pictures here. I think it could have been cleaned up a little bit more. And in regards to cleaned up, let's look at the pictures that I gave a better rating to. So these two both received a 6 out of 10. Jumping to the next two, for the one on the left hand side, which is cover 3, I give a 7.5 out of 10. I do actually quite like that one, and I must admit it looks way more cleaned up than the cover we saw before, and it works really well, especially in relation to the story. I think if I were to pick any cover to be the main cover, I think this would have been the best cover to use, along with the second cover to be the next variant, or the cover next to that, to which I give an 8 out of 10, to which I actually quite like the look of this. It reminds me of something in relation to Hanna-Barbera or Looney Tunes. Just the way it sort of feels a little bit comedic of sorts, even though this is on a certain island connected to Darwin Cook and that. To which I give it an 8 out of 10. Now it's time to move into the area of the internal art and also what's happening story-wise with the characters. As we have a look around the beginning, middle, and of course the end. So once again, I need to point out the cheapness here of DC Comics in relation to what they're doing with the covers here. It's very stupid, very lame, and because of these actions, I can certainly see you losing money in sales because of this. Hey, and I'm not the dickhead who thought of this idea. It was DC Comics. So, as we begin to move into the area around the beginning of the story, we get some flashbacks to before the City of Bane event. And it's, I must admit, if it's one thing I really enjoyed in this, it was these flashback panels, more so than the main story. Considering how accurate they might be to certain events, I think some of it can be brought, not all of it, but some of it can be brought into question. Jumping a little bit further into the story, we finally have Damian using one of the dinosaurs on the island to take on Bane. We, of course, have the character of Vengeance on the scene, to which she too is sort of like wanting to take on her father or whatever. And as we draw towards the end of the fight, we see Damian showing mercy to his villain, to which I think is really good. But one thing I didn't really think was necessary is this last bit towards the very end. As of course, we've got the character, I think, of Vengeance, who I think is probably working with Cobra at the time. And in this, we see Damian is struck by the venom. And there was absolutely no need for this. Like, why didn't she strike herself with the venom and take on Bane? Pretty fucking lame. And then, of course, we have this for the upcoming next terrible issue care of Joshua Williamson. So for the internal art, I give it a 6.5 out of 10. As I brought up before, I think the main highlight in this particular issue was actually seeing the flashbacks. Now, in the flashbacks of the area of time, I must move to the area in relation to the story rating. So first things first, do we get any comic book references to any of the previous issues? No, because it seems Joshua Williamson thinks himself too high and mighty to include these things. So none of that at all. The next is the area of time, to which we have Before the City of Bane, Rebirth, R.I.P. and Batman and Son. So these are basically sort of like addressing comic book arc or comic book arc lines. So we have, of course, the Rebirth era. We also have Batman R.I.P., to which Batman at the time is believed to be dead, when it's in relation to something that Darkseid had done at one time. So it's connecting to New 52 and also Batman and Son, which is a little bit almost pre-New 52. The locations that we see here, of course, the Dinosaur Island. We also get to see Gotham. The cast of characters, we of course see Damian Wayne Robin. We got to see Alfred. We got to see Bruce Wayne Batman, Vengeance, Bane. We had Cobra still there. Maya Descartes as Nobody. And last but not least, Alfred. For the overall story rating in this, I give a 6 out of 10. We'll see you again at the Super Sons Fortress of Attitude.